Hi everyone, welcome to Index Match for Dummies. Now the purpose of this video is pretty self-explanatory. In this video I'll be explaining this particular formula in a very easy to remember way, which I believe will be very helpful for you guys. So I'm very excited to show this trick that I've came up with. Now let's get to it. Oh, and also please don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help the channel a lot. If you found this video useful, please show some support, and I would be very appreciative. Now let's get to it. Today we'll just be discussing, four things. We'll just explain the example data set that I've created, which is right here, the data set, and we'll go over the problem. Then we'll just break up the formula, into like small little pieces and explain in plain English. That's where the trick that I've come up with, because with this, you don't need to like remember any like the syntax, like what you have to do with the formula. It's just an easy to remember way, easy to remember small little trick that I have. And then after that, we'll just go through like a live example, just so it can really like stick in your brain. And then finally, you guys are a very supportive crowd, so you guys will like the video if you haven't already. Thank you so much for that. By the way, I appreciate it. Now let's get to it. Step one is we'll explain the data set, okay? All right, so now I've just made like some small little data. I've used like stocks as an example since it's like super trendy these days, GameStop, AMC, and all that stuff. Let's say that, you are super rich, you're a baller. You have so many investments that you can't even keep track of, so that's why you've organized these, right? You have like 1,000 investments. That's why it's important to like organize all this stuff, because otherwise you can't keep track. So you have name of company, type of security, stock or bond, ticker. If you don't already know, every stock has a ticker. It's like an identifier. So for example, GameStop, it's gonna have GME. That's GameStop's identifier. Purchase price, let's say you bought it at $7. Wow, well, lucky you, we bought it early. And then you sold it at 500. That's even more. That's amazing. I'm very jealous. So 500 minus 7, your gain is $493. And oh my God, look at that. You sold 1,000 shares at 493 price. That's almost half a million dollars. Wow, look at you. Wow. Oh my God, I'm so jealous of you guys. But yeah, I made like a small little data set. Just pretend that all these X's are other investments. You have so much data that it's hard to just like find something. If somebody asked you like, oh, how much money you made in this and this and this, So that's where the formula can be very helpful, the index match formula, and now we'll do it. So this is where that question comes, right? Let's say that your husband or your wife says, hey, honey, how much money we made from GameStop and Tesla? And now, you have so much information here, so that's where the formula will be helpful. And I've already done the formula for you, so we'll like break up this formula and then we'll go through a live example, okay? But we know that in GameStop, we made $493, 493K, I mean. And then with Tesla, we made 6,000. Okay, so that's how much money we made in total. That's the answer that we need to get to. 499K. Sounds good? Now let's get to it. We're gonna break up the formula in plain English, and there we go. So same thing. This is that same tab that we saw earlier. Same formula, 493. We know. What I did here is that I copied this formula and I pasted it here, okay? And I made it bigger so we can dissect this formula, okay? All right. And what I've done is I've also color-coded things, so the blue, green, and then the orangish yellow. And then what I've done is that this is the Excel kind of like syntax, what you type in the actual formula up above. This is like the hint column that I have like for you and like for myself. For example, the what, the how, the where, and then this is related to specifically our example. For example, our significant other is asking how much money we made in GameStop, so that's the answer that we need, right? But yeah, let's get to it. The way that this formula, like I have it memorized and it's like super easy, it's you just start with the index, then you select the column that has the answer that you're looking for. That's just you have to remember, okay? The answer that I'm looking for, comma, match, because you're merging two functions, right? And then whatever the unique ID is, in this case, it would be like, GME for GameStop, right? You enter that into the formula, comma again, and then wherever that unique ID is in your data set, you select that column, comma, 0, 0 means exact match, and then you close the brackets. That's it. It's very easy to remember, guys. That's basically it. That's how you dissect the formula. Everything else is just, it looks difficult, but it's very easy to understand. Oh yeah, guys, please don't forget, if you haven't already, please like the video. It really does help out the channel. But now let's do like a live example, and in which I'll go through the hints and I'll also explain with the example as well. So you can really, you know, get inside your brain. This is a pretty easy formula, okay? So we already have 493 for GameStop, right? We'll just do this formula again. Sounds good? Okay, let's go. Step 1 equals index and open bracket. Index, open bracket. Sounds good. Step 1 is done. Step 2, answer that select the column that has the answer that you are looking for. We know that our wife asked us how much money we made, right? So that's the what. Like, what are you looking for, guys? What are you looking for, okay? So we know that we are looking for, let's see, how much money we made, right? We'll go to our data column, data tab. We know that at the far end, that's our earnings, right? How much money we made? 493, right? We'll just select this full column, okay? Sounds good? That's step 2, right? Remember? Step 2 was how much money we're looking for. I mean, what are we looking for? How much money we made? Step 3, comma. Oh, wow, that's a very hard step. Comma. Step 4, now we enter, just a formula name. So we'll just enter that match, M-A-T-C-H, match, open bracket, right? Step 4 is done. Step 5. All right, so step 5 is a bit tricky, but, to really like help you understand, the thing with step 5 is that you need to tell Excel how is Excel gonna be able to look for your answer. Now, to look for your answer, Excel needs like a unique ID, okay? And that's exactly what we have. The GameStop's unique ID is GME. So that's where the how comes in. Like you're telling Excel, and I have it written down here, Excel is saying, how do you want me to search this? I need some kind of unique ID. Okay? So that's where the how comes in, okay? So we know that the unique ID for GameStop is GME, because we saw in our data set, if you recall, it had the column for the tickers, it had the column for how much money you made, and etc., right? So all Excel is asking here is the how, like how do you want me to search this thing in the data set? We know how. We want Excel to use this, GME. So I'm just gonna click here, which put B5, right? Column B, row 5. Simple as that. Unique ID, done. Step 5 is done. Step 6, a comma. Oh, look at that, very hard. Comma, done. Step 7, column of the unique ID in the same data set where your answer is. All right, this is the where, okay? So first we told Excel, what are you looking for, right? What are we looking for? Then we told Excel how to look for that thing. Now the last step is where. Like, where is GME? Where do you want me to look for this answer, right? And if we go back to the data set, it's the column that has GME. So I'm gonna go back to my data column, right? Right? Now, which column has GME? If you recall, it was a ticker column, right? This has AMC, Tesla, GME, yeah, Apple, right? I'm just simply gonna select this, right? So it just added the column. I didn't do anything, right? I just clicked the column, right? And remember we're on step 7, right? Step 7 is done. Step 8 is a comma. Very difficult step. After step 8, this is kind of like an Excel kind of coding thing. Excel asks, Do you want less than? Do you want an exact match? Do you want greater than? I'm looking for an exact match. I need to know exactly how much money I made on GameStop. So I'm just gonna type in 0. You can see that, type in 0. And then step number 10, also very easy. We're just gonna close the brackets. If you see in index, right, we open the bracket. In match, we also open a bracket. That's why we have to put 2 brackets to close this thing. So I'm gonna close the brackets, right? All good here, right? And hit enter. Look at that. I got that exact same number, 493K, the 493K, as a live example, right? Now, we also want to know what a Tesla did. We can copy this formula, copy is Control C, paste is Control V. I'm sure you already know this, and there you go. If you recall, our expectation was 499, then that's what we got. That's it, guys. That's it. I hope you found this useful. Please like the video if you did. This is a simple formula. It just looks difficult. And feel free to, screenshot this, because here, like I've laid it out for you. It's very easy. It's all simple. The what, the how, the where, okay? And this was our specific example, how much money we made. We tell Excel, like, use GME to search. And this is, where exactly GME is in our data set. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Please like the video and please also subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.